Hello travelers, and welcome to the Horror Green Book, the channel that takes you from coast to coast and con to con. I am your travel guide, Brendan, and today we are here in the crisp mountain air of Salt Lake City, Utah, to bring to you something very special. Some of my favorite horror films were, at least were filmed in the Salt Lake City area. So while I was in the area, I wanted to stop by and show a couple of them and show what they look like today. So come along with me, travelers, and we're going to get into some doozies. Okay guys, and this house is the house that was used for the location of the Carruthers house in Halloween 4 and 5. This is where Rachel and Jamie lived with their family, and it basically looks the same. This is probably the most recognizable setting from the Halloween 4 and 5 films. It's very cool. I mean, it very much looks the same. You see this pathway right here. This is where, Donald Pleasence came through here, was at this house. They actually filmed some of the interiors here as well. Also, Ellie Cornell was here, Danielle Harris, all the staff. This is very cool to actually be here, guys. Very nice to know that it's still here and looking great in this wonderful neighborhood for fans to come and check it out. I'm glad that Donald Pleasence did not shoot that little girl in his house. So travelers, if you ever want to come out here, you can see this house is still there. Well, that's it for this one, and on to the next one. Okay travelers, and this house you would definitely remember from Halloween 5, which is a very interesting entry in itself. But in regards to this house, this was the house used for the Myers house in Halloween 5. Now, this house looks a bit different from the house that was used as the Myers house in Halloween 1, the original one. But hey, this is in the days of VHS where they're just like, the fans won't notice that. As you can see the address there. In the movie, when Donald Pleasence is outside, right here in the pathway, you will see 1007, the number right on the house in the film. So it's very cool to see that it's still here. It looks very nice. They have very cool houses in the area, very nice historical houses, and this one looks like it has been receiving some nice love and care after all these years. It's very cool to see that, Dr. Loomis was right out here and he set a trap for Michael, which didn't necessarily go as planned because Michael is very, very smart. That guy has a very high IQ for someone who isn't very verbal. But guys, if you want to see it, it's still right here in Salt Lake City, and it is around the corner from the house that was used as the Carruthers house. Okay travelers, and this is the building that was the sanitarium in which they were transferring Michael back to when he was in his comatose state. It's very nice. This is now a condominium complex now. So this is another site that is still very nice and standing. Technically trespassing, so I'm going to make it very quick here, guys, but it's very cool to know. So guys, in future videos or future situations, just know when you're hovering around a comatose serial killer, don't mention his niece that is still alive. That's just going to be a recipe for disaster. Okay travelers, for our next location, we are here in Sandy, Utah, here at Larkin Sunset Gardens, which is a cemetery here. Now, if you are a fan of Ari Aster films, you will recognize this next location. Now, we are here during Memorial Day, and we want to say thank you for all the Americans that have lost their lives to defend our country. But we are here at this particular spot here at the cemetery, and this is the exact place that a very iconic scene from the film Hereditary takes place, which is one of my absolute favorite films. I really enjoy it. Really is one of those films that you can watch every so often because it really will make you very depressed. But without revealing spoilers, this filming location was used in Of course, a funeral, very tragic scene, very emotional scene in which a family is suffering a loss. And let's just say, if you've ever gone through anything similar, I give my hearts out to you. And I hope that no one has to ever deal with something like that in real life. But this is the exact spot right here, and it is nestled in the mountains, and it's such a wonderful, wonderful shot. You really feel the emotion. And normally I've seen pictures where it's not as packed, but you know, the fact that it is Memorial Day and there are tons of people here paying respects to their loved ones, it only seems right to necessarily be here, and it looks the same. So there you go, guys. Well, travelers, that would do it for me here in Utah with my horror film movie locations here. It's just a mini vid. I only had so much time here in Utah, but I promise you I will be back. I will return to bring you the rest of the filming locations for Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Hereditary, they only really had one scene that's accessible. The other one would be the house of the family, and that one is behind the gated community. So there is a way that you can see the house, but it involves getting on a ski lift. I'll get into that later. Maybe we'll bring something like that towards you in the future. But travelers, I am your tour guide, Brendan, with the Horror Green Book, letting you know, if you see anything that you liked, go ahead and give me one of those Ash Williams severed hands, you know, the thumbs up. Comment in regards to anything that you saw, and if you want to stick around, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure to click the bell so you're notified whenever I'm posting up new stuff, or if I'm going live, which I will start doing more soon, I promise you, travelers. But again, I am your travel guide, Brendan, with the Horror Green Book, letting you know that it is scary in those streets. So let me know that you made it home safely.